Hello, I'm Anshula Dikshit, Public Relation Executive at the award-winning Fashion Community Week in San Francisco. Our platform offers support and opportunities for emerging and underrepresented fashion designers around the globe. This year, we celebrated 10th edition of our existence. This is Fashion Community Speak, where we interview global fashion designers and industry experts who join us to share their journey and expertise with us. Today, our guest is Anubha Srivastav, founder and designer of the label A by Anubha. She has been featured in British Vogue and Harper Bazaar UK for her distinct collection. You may have also seen her sensational collection on our Fashion Community Week runway in 2015 with a comeback on our runway show in 2019. Welcome to Fashion Community Speak, Anubha. It is wonderful to have you as our guest today. So let's start this interview by talking a little bit about A by Anubha and what was your inspiration behind the brand?
First of all, thank you, Anshula, and I would like to thank Fashion Community Week for giving me this opportunity to go live, especially in the shelter-in place, so that we can still reach out to people. Talking about A by Anubha, it's been 8 years since I established the brand. That was back in India, and out of college, super strong-headed, wanted to achieve a lot, do design my own stuff, and that's how I started. Then I moved to the US, and the brand has been established in San Francisco for 7 years now. We've been doing multiple fashion shows with Fashion Community Week, with San Francisco Fashion Week. And we mostly work with jackets and outerwear, and we focus on this fabric called khadi from India, which is a hand-spun cotton and wool and silk fabric. We've been around and about, and that's the gist of it.
That's super. And I'm like very, very inspired by your collection. And since you were talking about khadi, the use of khadi in your collection, so I wanted to understand what inspired you to use khadi as your choice of fabric for the collection.
So coming from India, like it's the country has a lot of culture, a lot of heritage, and then a lot of handicrafts. I was just amazed with khadi that it's just a weave, and even then it's so beautifully done. Like I'm wearing one of the ikat jackets from khadi.
And you're looking very nice.
Oh, thank you. So just like I was doing some research and for my degree project, and then I came across the whole Swadeshi movement started by Mahatma Gandhi. And then, so when I read through it, it's just like the fabric played such an important role in getting independence for India. And the movement started where people started spinning their own fabric to create employment and to boycott the British good. So the whole story, it's so strong. That gives a nice background to it. And then I was very inspired by the Band Gala jacket, the Nehru jacket known as, but they were always made for men's, like it's a men's wear garment back in India. So I wanted to make it like a women's wear garment, because why not?
Yeah, why not?
That's where I blended the two together and came up with this idea. I had done few pieces with my batchmate back in school, but then when I started full-fledged designing, then I came up with the Nehru jacket idea, and then I realized that there's so much to do in this, and then San Francisco is the best place to sell coats.
Truly.
And then that's how the journey began.
Wow, what an incredible journey, I must say, Anubha. And since you were talking about your journey, I just wanted to ask you and share your experiences, like whether you always had this idea before coming into the industry, and when you actually came into the industry, how did that actually unfold?
I think I've been a little lucky with the idea. It's this, like I said, it was my degree project, and one of my other friend was just like, oh, you should just make jackets out of khadi. And like she's still my very good friend, and I remind her, and she's like, really, did I tell you that? And I was like, yeah, we were just talking on one of the days, and she just said that, and I was like, actually that's a good idea. So it just usually, it takes a lot of research and a lot of like thought process, but I'm that's generally how I am. I get like excited on like little ideas, or like even just decorating my room for like little corners and little things. So I think that's how I just thought that, oh, there's this seems pretty cool. And then when I started exploring with it, I realized that there's so much to do with it. So
So
I wanted to just be involved with this for now. But we do like to expand. We do want to come up with like dresses, and we do want to come up with like more embroidered jacket. But I feel like there's still so much to explore here that I'm not able to move on.
yeah, we'll be looking forward for that collection. And since I observed that you have been like using khadi, which is again in its sustainable form, and our interview series is also like focused on sustainability, so I would love to know your thought, like what does sustainability means to you?
So to me, I feel like the whole cycle of the fabric being made from once it gets weaved, then it gets like cut and sewn, then it reaches the design process. And I mean, the first is the design process, then it's cut and sewn, and then you do photo shoots and everything. So for me, sustainability means like bringing everyone together in it. And also at the end of it, like, I think this is the running problem with fashion industry, and that we're so used to buying that we don't think that it's our responsibility, that what are we going to do after if we don't want it. So sustainability for me means like developing that cycle, that from like the origination of fabric, we generate employment. We're making sure the artisans back in India, they feel motivated to like make something, unless because it's been like a dying art. So yeah, so just creating that cycle from like the fabric to the consumer. uh yeah, and it's like
Thank you. Thank you for taking that step and being like so
yeah,
responsible. And I can't agree more when you say that definitely we need more slow fashion in our industry.
right,
And
right.
thank you for, you know, like this lovely insight that you gave us, and you allowed us to enter into your world. So I would just like to request you, if you have any advice for the audience, and specifically like the emerging designers, on how to cope up, like just keeping up their business during current pandemic. The situation has been a little intense.
Right. I mean, the pandemic is definitely very different from, I mean, it is reliable to sustainability also for sure. But yeah, but if you're not able to sell, how are you going to sustain everyone else in your business? So I do understand that part. But if you're talking about the pandemic, I've been amazed personally. People have come up with such brilliant ideas, and even though it's such a tough time, everybody has been making masks. I follow a couple of designers, and everyone been making different kind of masks. And I think that's where like you have to like twist and change a little bit of your business profile. Like we started making khadi mask, and we saw that people actually like it. So just whatever the need of the hour is. I know it's fun designing, I know it's fun just being about fashion or the colors or the season, but right now everyone's struggling with something or the other. So just taking a twist and turn towards the current situation, like no touch delivery or any sort of thing that can help. uh, or even like people have been shopping online with us, and I was amazed. So I guess it's good, at least like even if it just cheers them up by shopping, that's also achievement these days. So
That's a great advice, and we are surely inspired by that. Anubha, it was wonderful having you in
thank
our
you.
interview series. Thank you for sharing your valuable insights with us, and I thoroughly enjoyed this process of like talking to you, and again just learning about the brand. And I would also like to thank our audience for tuning in and watching the show, and just passing on some lovely comments. And if you would like to own one of the beautiful pieces by A by Anubha, then her current collection is available on her e-shop, that is www.abyανubha.com. Definitely check that website, and tune in at noon on our Fashion Community Week IGTV to watch live interviews with fashion industry experts. And all the interviews are also available on our platform this Thursday and Friday at 12 noon. We look forward to seeing you next Wednesday with another interview series. Bye. Thank you.
Bye.